Hello all. So in this video I am going to discuss native's chart. So the native was seeking advice on whether he should start something of his own in terms of his business or some independent profession, or he should stick to his job. Now when it comes to analyzing the situation of job in someone's life, whether or not he can choose job as his ultimate occupation, so we need to give a lot of importance to sixth house. Why? Because sixth house is the house of service. It represents the workplace atmosphere and the way you will be coordinating with other people in your work life. So now here we see that sixth house is occupied by two planets, Sun and Moon. Moon is in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio, that represents sudden changes, difficult situations, and Moon, that represents mind, emotional state. So here it indicates that if native experiences stressful situations when it comes to work, then he may not be able to bear it for long, or he doesn't want to bear it for long. Hence, the movement becomes very frequent. There is a frequent movement which is seen in his job, and sometimes, in fact most of the times, it can indicate some sort of unwilling change on native's part. It clearly indicates one thing, that he may have issues in job sustenance. Now, Sun's placement in the sixth house also indicates that there is strength which is being offered to sixth house. So native will be able to render his service in an effective manner. So when I had a discussion, native, when it comes to his delivery, when it comes to his share of work, he was quite good at it. He was a good performer. His work was good. But when it comes to sustaining job for a long time, there he was experiencing issues. So he said that I really want to be stable, but something happens that I keep on switching very frequently, and this is not something that I want anymore. And because of it, I'm thinking that whether I should consider changing my nature of occupation to business or some independent profession. So what is going to be good for me? Now, when it comes to ascertaining business aspect, we pay a lot of attention to seventh house, because seventh house is the house of masses. Seventh house is that house where you want to coordinate, collaborate, come in partnership, and then work. So it's not just you anymore. Of course it's you, because it's the house of partnership. Of course it's you, but it is you in balance, in alignment with someone else also. So this naturally becomes the house of business. Now seventh house is being occupied by Lagnesh, first house owner, and seventh house owner, which is Jupiter. Now both are coming together, and both are intelligent planets. Mercury, which represents business, commercial side of things. Jupiter represents knowledge. So whatever information, whatever knowledge is needed to fulfill the business aspect of things, native has that quality in him. He can go ahead with it. He can develop it. So business aspect is becoming strong in this chart. He can work and coordinate and come in partnership and join association with other individuals and work in that way, which is very much business, or something of your own, where you are not working under someone, but you are in alignment with other parties, other associations. So This positivity is present in native's chart. Now, if we look at 10th house, because 10th house is now very important to understand that why this thing strike to him. Of course, this thought strikes to everyone these days, that whether they should start some business or maybe they should be working independently. But here in this chart, it has a solid reason that I see. Saturn and Ketu conjunction in the sign of Pisces in the 10th house is also indicating, and where Saturn is becoming Ashtamesh, 8th house lord, it is indicating that native is not very much sure about what he is doing at present. There is duality in the thought process, there is polarity which is seen. So he is not very much confirmed usually that whether he's going the right track and whether he should change or he should consider something else, because 8th house lord is now in 10th house, that too in the sign of Pisces, which will always make him wonder that what he is doing at present, is it really meant for him? Because Pisces is the sign of diving deep into your thoughts and then coming up with some insight. Now, since we know that Saturn and Ketu conjunction can represent a break in career, so one more aspect now joins native's job situation, where there is a problem in job sustenance, because he's not having any problem when it comes to sustaining his profile, the profile he's working on, but he has a problem with job sustenance. So Saturn and Ketu conjunction is also stating that he may have a frequent break in work career, because he'll not be very satisfied and then he will consider taking a change. Now, one thing that I saw very important in this chart, which made me conclude that business or independent profession is going to be good for him, is Parivartan Yoga between Mars and Sun in 3rd and 6th house. So this is indicating the drive, efficiency, fire to move ahead, to get things and achieve something big. So he has that hunger for achieving something really big in life. He cannot feel very contented with what he has, even after attaining big things. His hunger will keep growing with time. So now this kind of drive, this kind of fire is needed in business, because business is a setup that can develop by volumes exponentially in the future. So he has that caliber and energy to put in something where a lot of work is needed to achieve something big. And let's not ignore the placement of Venus. Venus is in the 5th house, in the sign of Libra, that represents business. Also, Venus is a very liberal planet. It doesn't like taking instructions. It doesn't even like giving instructions. It wants to operate in a very free-flowing manner. And since Libra represents business, so business aspect of things, and Venus is placed in the house of mindset in the 5th house. Now this is a very positive side of joining business, that native, by keeping neutral diplomatic approach, because if the aspect of business which is seen from the 7th house, if it is already in a good state, and if Venus is in Libra, then it means that person will not want to work under someone for a very long time. Now, Venus represents creativity, artists, so talent workers. Everybody operates under someone. We are getting paid by someone. But now in job type, what happens that there is always a boss over you who is usually instructing you, who is not giving you your freedom and liberty. You have to carry instructions and implement. So Venus is not very comfortable with taking and giving instructions. Yeah, it does to achieve results. When it does it beautifully. Like, you tell the artist that, I want this piece of art, or I want this piece of music. You just tell him what is your requirement and give him his own time. Don't say that I want it in 3 days or 4 days. At least give him, some proper that length of time, and then he would be able to give you what you expected from him. But if you put that pressure on some artist, he will not be able to show you his potential that comes from his creativity. So, yeah, Venus in the sign of Libra in the fifth house again joins and strengthens the element of business. So, if native wants to go ahead with business or some independent profession, that would be a better choice over job.